What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Diablo Immortal video. Yesterday we talked about the incoming update and some things that we saw from the patch notes over in China. One of those things included a sword mount. Now, I'm not talking about like a Crusader and the Crusader's horse, but I'm talking about a sword mount that could potentially be available for all classes. What I don't know, and what we're going to try and dive into today, is this potential sword mount a cosmetic look, or is it actually something that's going to be functional inside of the game? I have a lot of images for you guys today, including a full breakdown of what's coming inside of the next Phantom Market for all classes. I'm going to have all the details and all the looks for that. Plus, I have something here to look at you guys with, and it's right here. This could potentially be the sword mount. We have two character classes right there, and it looks as if there is a sword underneath those characters. A few questions that I have are, one, is this just some type of an animation that is frozen in time and looks like a mount for these characters? Is it a mount for one of those two characters, or is it a mount that two characters can ride on together? Lots of questions. We haven't had this in hand to play it or to try it ourselves, but it was a very interesting image that was shared by Red October that I thought I should bring up here because it kind of raises an eyebrow and brings a little bit of speculation onto what actually could be coming. Is this a mount, or is this just a frozen frame that makes us think it's a mount? By the way, if you love Diablo Immortal and you want to be up to date on everything related to the game, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I bring you videos every single day. And on this Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, I've gotten myself 100 legendary crests that I'm going to be running live on stream. Thanks to the generosity of the community and their donations, I'm going to be running those. It was 100% funded from people that wanted to support me and my channel. So I appreciate all of you that participated in that. But I think we should start out. Why don't we just start out right off the bat with this minute-long trailer showing us what this new cosmetic actually looks like and see it in action. All right, right off the bat, first impressions, I think that the cosmetic looks amazing. It's a Phantom Market cosmetic. For 170 bucks to get that and more rewards that I'm about to show you in a minute, you get a lot for your money. But there's a few things that I want to point out that bring up some speculation here. First things first, on all of the classes, check out their backs. All of them have this cloaking on them. Now, this very well could just be an attribute of the cosmetic itself, but we did recently hear rumor that there were going to be a new gear slot, which is a cloak that houses a legendary gem. Could this be a little bit of a tease right here as to what the cloaks would look like on the character classes that holds that gem, showing some truth to that speculation? Or could this just be a part of the cosmetic? Phantom Market cosmetic is just on them. That's up for, I guess, us to try and figure out. In addition to that, all of these classes, if you take a look at the faces, I'm wondering and I'm hoping that it also has a cosmetic face change like we've seen in the previous Phantom Market cosmetic. I absolutely love it. I think it looks great, and I would love to see that part of this as well. I also do love the silhouette behind. It's just a nice touch. That was used in the previous cosmetic. And it seems that they're going with the same vibe there. Both this cosmetic and the one prior, very Asian in themed, which I'm particularly a fan of. Also notice everything here, very sword themed. I believe it was the Barbarian. This is the Crusader right there. This is the Barbarian that was wielding two swords. I just think it looked pretty darn awesome. And in action, they all look great. There it is right there, the Barbarian with those two swords wielded. It just looks really, really cool. Something that looking forward to. We'll see if we decide to get that one or not. So besides going into all the lore, we know the story. We spoke about it before. Two worlds are colliding. We have one IP colliding with Diablo Immortal, and that's going to be what this is all about. And again, if you can't tell from the poster here, this is all focused around this sword, but also in the background, we're seeing this structure. That is the tower that we spoke of in yesterday's update video. That tower is a new game mode where I believe there were 9 levels. There could have been less, I don't recall, but a certain number of levels of the tower. And as you progress, things get more difficult. Obviously, you'll have rewards up and down that tower as you go. Details on that more in depth are in yesterday's update video. I'll be pinning that up above as a card. If you want to go check that out, feel free to go check that out when you're done watching this video. But besides going into all of the lore, that's not the focus of today's video. I want to show you guys everything that we're getting here from the Phantom Market if you decide to engage. I want to remind you, the Phantom Market is a hefty price tag. Now there is a chance, it's like a 0.0 something chance that you break into this cosmetic right off the bat. Boom, you get it. I've known people that have done it, not me. I've always gotten it on my last pull. And getting through your last pull, you get all these rewards you see on screen, which I'm about to go through, and then you get the cosmetic, and at that point, you've spent yourself 170 bucks. So what do we have here? Without being able to click on all this, because it's not clickable, we have the main cosmetic, that is our end goal, and a portal that goes along with that, and then these right here, which initially at first sight look like eyeballs of a cat, they're actually the sword weapons. It's the cosmetics that you're going to be wearing when you get it, which are 2 swords, which is awesome. Well, 2 swords if you're the Barbarian. If you're a Crusader or others, they're not the swords. And you also have an emote that you can get, which is themed to this whole IP. Now, that's like the focus stuff around this. Along the way, you're going to pick up other cosmetics. Now, keep in mind, these cosmetics up top, they are all cross-class. The weapons, of course, the emote, the portal, and the main cosmetic as well. If you unlock all of these, they're unlocked across all of your classes, no matter what, and it should connect with the new class coming to the game as well. It would really suck if you have all these Phantom Market cosmetics, the new class drops, and it doesn't fit them, but we'll see. There's no guarantee on that. Now, the cosmetics underneath, these will be bound to the class that you are when you're participating in the Phantom Market. So if I unlock these on my Crusader, these cosmetics right here will only be available on my Crusader. What do we get? We get some red themed skin with a red weapon. The same skin, essentially it's the same cosmetic, but in purple, and that comes with a purple cosmetic. And then you get a nicer one, which is typically like the second best out of all this pack right here, with a cosmetic weapon as well. So you get all of that. But there's even more, because when you get to 2 pulls, you pull your first free pull, you pull a second one, boom, you get another portal right here, bound to the class that you use it on. Keep in mind, this is essentially the normal portal. There's nothing unique about it, at least that we could tell right here from looking at the image, besides its color. So just a normal portal. Then you get an emote, which is on all classes. Then you get another emote, which is on all classes, or at least they have been. And then you get another cool portal at the 8th pull. So it's pull 2, 4, 6, and 8. If you get to 8 pulls, you get this portal. Actually, in the previous Phantom Market, the portal that was down here as the 8th reward was actually really cool, and I like it a lot. They typically don't compare, though, to the Phantom Market portals, which are just like monstrosities and amazing. Once you start getting Phantom Market cosmetics, all of your other ones just look a little bit more dull, not only because of how they look, but all the effects and affects that come from them. Being able to have portals that are massive and that just have great effects, or the ground effects and the swirling effects that are around you from the cosmetic. They are really just an attribute that you get from the Phantom Market. And they better be, because honestly, for 170 bucks, which is essentially what it takes to get these, it better have something special if you're spending that kind of money. And it does. All right, so this is everything that you'll get from that Phantom Market. And now it tells you about the breakdown right there. And it's going to give us some looks right here of what everything is going to look like. So we got a couple more cosmetics. As we saw in the trailer itself, you have the Barbarian with the 2 wielding swords. Looks like we have our monk over here. And it also gives you a little close look at what's going on, the specialties. So you have the belt, you have the sword, and you have the piece on the back. What is the piece in the back showing? Is it showing that dagger spear? Or is it showing that cloak that you're wearing? Again, still waiting to see what that is. Now, it does say, with green silk draped behind him, the mage holds a long sword in one hand. So we'll see if that cloak is the new cloaks that are going to have a gem, or if it's just a cosmetic themed thing. By the way, this is that wizard they're talking about. I think it's actually cool. Throwing a big sword in the wizard's hand looks cool. Unfortunately, the demon hunter doesn't get the swords. That's the downfall of being the demon hunter, at least with this cosmetic. Everyone else does seem to have some type of a sword in hand. Even the Blood Knight, like a polearm style sword. And of course the Crusader, which in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, probably because of the brute size of the Crusader and the Barbarian, they're typically my 2 favorite classes on how the cosmetics actually look. Now, I will say I like the male versions of the characters better because they're just a little bit bigger. They're wider and taller, which gives me more real estate for cosmetics. So it's just my preference. Obviously, everyone has their own, but again, showing some nice stuff right here on all the details of that. And then, of course, it again talks about the new game mode and the feature that's coming right here, the new tower, and we're going to fight our way up to the top of that tower. Again, more details are in yesterday's video for that. And here, if this banner doesn't share what the focus is of this update, it's about the tower and it's about the cosmetic with that sword. That's what this is all about. And we already know about Diablo Immortal. So there you have it, guys, the Phantom Market cosmetic. And, well, as we showed you before, the potential mounts. What do you guys think? Remember, I will be going live on Saturday night, 9 p.m. In just a few days, I will have that scheduled on the main page of my channel. You guys can set a notification so you don't miss it. I will be taking a small handful of community members along with me on my runs so you can get yourself a bunch of rewards as I run my rifts as well. It's always good to get yourself some embers while someone is spending a lot of money running those rifts. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow.